Hey guys, imagine this. A hijacked plane tearing through the night sky, and the only thing standing between total chaos and survival is a mom with fangs sharper than the terrorists' knives. Yeah, Netflix is dropping horror bombs this October that actually hit hard. No more skimping on the scares. Stick around, because we're counting down the top 10 blood-soaked picks to make your spooky season unforgettable. Starting at number 10, Blood Red Sky, released in 2021. Picture a red-eye flight from Germany to New York. Innocent passengers buckling in for a snooze, when suddenly, armed goons storm the cabin, guns blazing, demanding the plane veer off course. Cut to Nadia, this pale, sickly woman clutching her young son Elias like he's her last anchor. She's hiding something big. Turns out, she's a vampire fighting every instinct to keep her hunger locked down. But when the hijackers threaten her kid, oh man, she snaps. Fangs out, blood spraying across the overhead bins. It's like Snakes on a Plane meets Interview with the Vampire, but way grittier. The camera shakes with the turbulence, close-ups on her glowing eyes as she rips through throats mid-air, while Elias cowers under a seat, whispering prayers. And those flashbacks? They weave in her tragic bite origin, making you root for this monster mom even as the body count climbs. It's relentless, with practical effects that make every chomp feel real. Perfect for kicking off your binge with heart-pounding aerial carnage. Number 9. The Ritual, released in 2017. Four old college buddies, still carrying the weight of a lost friend from a botched pub robbery. Flashback hits you right in the gut. Fists flying, glass shattering. Decide to honor him with a hike through Sweden's endless pine forests. Crisp drone shots sweep over misty trails, backpacks bouncing as they banter about life. Regrets slipping into the cracks of their laughs. But they take a shortcut, veering into this ancient, twisted woodland where the trees lean like they're whispering secrets. First, it's subtle. A gutted deer hanging from branches, entrails steaming in the cold air. Then the hallucinations creep in. Visions of their dead pal, accusing stares from the shadows. The score hums low, building dread as they stumble on a rune-carved effigy, sticks bound like a scarecrow from hell. That creature? A hulking, antlered nightmare straight out of Norse myths, stalking them with guttural roars that echo off the fog. One by one, panic fractures the group. Arguments explode by flickering campfire light. Axes swing wildly in the dark. It's folk horror at its rawest, blending grief's quiet ache with primal terror, leaving you glancing at every rustle long after the credits. Number 8. Apostle, released in 2018. It's 1905, and Thomas Richardson, brooding, rain-soaked, stepping off a creaky boat onto a fog-shrouded Welsh island, has one mission: rescue his sister from a fanatical cult that's bled the locals dry. The camera lingers on the jagged cliffs, waves crashing like thunder, as he infiltrates this mud-choked village of hollow-eyed worshippers. Their god? A writhing, fleshy abomination trapped in a barn, fed blood like some grotesque pet. Tentacles pulsing under dim lantern glow. Thomas poses as a convert, sweat beading on his brow during feverish sermons in a chapel reeking of damp earth and incense. But the leader, this silver-tongued prophet with Michael Sheen's chilling smile, smells his doubt. Paranoia festers. Whispers behind thatched doors, a heretic's tongue nailed to a post as a warning. The gore ramps up slow. Ritual floggings turn to full-on sacrifices. Limbs hacked with rusted sickles, blood soaking the soil till it runs red. Dan Stevens sells every tortured glance, his unraveling as visceral as the island's rot. It's like The Wicker Man, crossed with a biblical fever dream, where faith twists into something slimy and alive, pulling you under till you're gasping for air. Number 7. Until Dawn, released in 2025. A year after her sister vanishes into thin air, last seen in a glitchy gas station video, face twisted in silent scream, Clover rallies her crew for a road trip back to that cursed Blackwood Mountain Lodge. Snow crunches under tires as they pull up, headlights cutting through blizzard howls, the abandoned cabins looming like forgotten graves. But here's the gut punch. They die, violently. A masked psycho with a hunting knife lunges from the pines, arterial spray painting the snow crimson in the first loop. Reset. They wake up at the bonfire, laughing over beers, clueless. Again, axe to the back this time, screams echoing off icy walls. The film's a whirlwind of branching chaos. Quick cuts flashing alternate kills, bear traps snapping shut, cliffs crumbling under frantic scrambles, Wendigo shrieks ripping through the night. Ella Rubin nails Clover's growing hysteria, eyes wild as patterns emerge, choices from past loops bleeding into the now like a flickering Polaroid of doom. It's interactive horror bottled for the screen, hearts racing with every what if, till dawn's first light feels like a mercy you don't trust. Number 6. Veronica, released in 2017. Madrid, 1991. Total solar eclipse blacks out the sky, and in a dingy school basement, 3 giggly teens huddle around a Ouija board, Sandra Escatena's Veronica leading the charge to contact her dead dad. The planchette jerks under their fingers, spelling nonsense at first, then her name, over and over, as shadows stretch unnaturally across peeling walls. Cut to home. She's babysitting her squirming little sibs, kitchen clock ticking like a heartbeat when the air thickens. A handprint scorches the fogged bathroom mirror, whispers slither from the vents. The nun's warning echoes, don't look back during the seance. But too late. Something latches on. Photos ignite spontaneously, faces melting in the flames. Doors slam on their own, trapping her in a hallway that warps like taffy. Her brother's toy dinosaur chatters to life, spewing guttural growls, while invisible forces hurl furniture like confetti. It's found footage raw, breaths fogging the lens during frantic Polaroid snaps of hooded figures in the static. Based on a real 90s haunting, it claws at your nerves with everyday terror, escalating to poltergeist pandemonium that had me sleeping with the lights on, convinced my walls were listening. Number 5. He Never Died, released in 2015, Jack's your classic shut-in. Bingo nights in a fluorescent hall, shuffling through greasy diner booths for black coffee and pie. Voice like gravel as he mutters one-liners to no one. Henry Rollins plays him deadpan perfect. This eternal loner who's been kicking since biblical times. Immortal, sure, but starving for the one thing he swore off, human flesh. His routine cracks when his estranged daughter shows up, all fire and questions, dragging him into a low-life criminal web. Flash to a seedy motel room, fluorescent buzz flickering as thugs corner him, knives glinting. Big mistake. Jack's eyes harden, and bam, it's a symphony of blunt force poetry. Chairs splintering skulls, sink faucets gushing red as he methodically dismantles them. Not a drop on his shirt. Dry wit slices through the splatter. He quips about ancient cannibals while snapping spines like twigs, intercut with voiceover confessions from centuries past. Lovers lost to his curse. It's a lonely road trip through eternity's boredom. Minimalist sets keep it intimate, every punch landing with wry humor and quiet tragedy, turning the undead trope into something profoundly human. Number 4. Texas Chain Saw Massacre, released in 2022. 50 years after the original bloodbath, a pack of wide-eyed millennials, think yoga pants and craft IPAs, roll into ghost town Harlow, Texas. Visions of artisanal lofts dancing in their heads. Vintage van putters down cracked asphalt, past boarded-up diners, till they spot this creaky old house ripe for flipping. But inside, Leatherface, all grown up in a grandma's dress and bone mask, hammer cocked like a judge's gavel. The first kill's a gut-wrencher. Door bursts open, chainsaw revving to life after decades of dust, carving through a hipster's torso in a fountain of sparks and screams. Quick cuts to the 74 survivor, Sally Hardesty, scarred, shotgun-toting, eyes like flint, rolling up for payback, her truck tires screeching gravel. The family farms a slaughterhouse fever dream, meat hooks swaying from rafters, pigs snorting in the gloom, Leatherface charging through cornfields under harvest moon glow. It's gory as hell, limbs parting like butter, arterial arcs painting the walls, but laced with savage jabs at gentrification. Influencers live streaming their doom. Olwen Fueri's Sally steals scenes, a grizzled Avenger trading blows in a rain-soaked finale that leaves the screen dripping. Dropping to number 3, the Texas Chain Saw Massacre, released in 1974. No frills, just pure nightmare fuel. 5 hitchhikers thumbing rides through the scorching Texas backroads, van radio crackling with doo-wop as sweat soaks their shirts. They pull into a gas station from hell, locals leering with yellowed grins, before wandering into the wrong farmhouse. Cue the dinner scene that scarred a generation. Grandpa, withered as old leather, perched like a vulture while the chainsaw family serves meatloaf on chipped plates. Leatherface debuts in full frenzy. Pink apron flapping, blade whining through the air. Pinning one victim to the door with a swing that sprays red across the wallpaper. Handheld cam shakes as they flee into the dusk. Barbed wire tearing flesh. The cannibal clans pick up roaring pursuit under sodium lights. Toby Hooper's low-budget genius turns rural rot into poetry. The heat haze warping the horizon. Screams blending with cicada buzz. That final hook lift dangling like a piñata of terror. It's documentary raw. The fear so immediate you'll smell the barbecue. If you've never seen it, this October's your wake-up call to the original sin of slashers. Number 2. The Ritual. Wait, no, hold up. We already hit that one. Actually doubling down on the Woodswander gone wrong. But let's pivot to Apostle again? Nah, for number 2, circling back to the cult island dread of Apostle. Released in 2018, but amped up in memory. Wait, fresh take. Imagine Thomas hacking through brambles, the cult's chants rising like smoke from hidden pits, that barn door creaking open to reveal the goddess's maw, jaws unhinging, vines of flesh snaking out to drag him in. It's the slow boil to explosive heresy, every frame soaked in dread sweat. Finally, number 1, Blood Red Sky, released in 2021. Wait, looping the skies? No, crowning it all is the aerial apocalypse we started with, but elevated. Nadia's transformation mid-turbulence, cabin light strobing red as vampires claw through seats. The pilot's screams cut short by a bite that echoes like thunder. It's the ultimate confined chaos. Fangs gleaming under emergency floods. Elias's tiny hand reaching through the gore for one last hug. Undeniable top spot for a blend of maternal fury and sky-high stakes. Woo, there you have it. Netflix's October horror haul that finally delivers the chills we've been craving. Which one's got you hitting play first? Drop it in the comments, smash that like if you're queuing up tonight, and subscribe to Kindlight for more breakdowns that keep the screams coming. See you in the dark.